What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol VLON for Vallon Pharmaceuticals. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will be the first time we've talked about it on the channel, and obviously, big catalyst on today's session. I'd like to attribute this, just like we talked about today with APVO, to being a supply and demand issue. If you take a look at volume down below, notice what happens, and again, look at this box right here. Notice what happens as I hover over today's session, 27.5 million shares, give or take, and on every other subsequent day, what you'll notice is that the majority of them were sub 100,000 shares exchanging hands. So all things considered, when you have a supply and demand issue, there's a lot of demand for a stock and there's not a whole lot of that stock out there. The price has to respond by going higher. The catalyst is simply the event, or what draws a lot of eyeballs to the stock in the first place. So the catalyst is, if we take this out, you can see here, it looks like one company started coverage on it with a $12 price target and a buy rating. Whether or not that's, something valid, that's, up to you to look into. But from a technical perspective, what do we have here? What we'll notice is that we attempted to get through this area of resistance here. Obviously, our highs are still way out of reach at 1032. We have this area of support. And what I'm doing right now is just giving ourselves a quick daily roadmap to pay attention to. So that's going to kind of do it from the daily. What I want to focus in on for the majority of today's video is, of course, the intraday activity. Now, when this thing started taking off, it really took off, and the pullback only happened into the end of the day. So whether or not we see continued pullback is yet to be determined. If we take out the fibs from low to high, what you'll notice is that although we did not close underneath the 38.2, it was violated on the pullback, and instead we found support here, which I'm going to call as valid, basically. If we look at this, it's coinciding perfectly with this shelf of support, this prior resistance, and if you look at the intraday activity, notice that we get a couple of upper wicks there as well before ultimately continuing into that end of day push. So to me, 654 is the number to be watching. Now, don't get me wrong, I can certainly see what's happening in the post market here. We're underneath that level. So let me just turn it on and show you as well. A significant amount of the move has been given back in the post market session here. So we're not technically opening on a gap down, but I would advise you to keep in mind where the overnight low is and where this selling pressure has started sort of bottomed out. So for now, it's at 511. Remember, a lot can happen between now and 9:30. But if we start consolidating above and really get no meaningful bounce, at least into that point which we just talked about at the 654, then I would start to treat this as a flush point. Any breakdown of 511 takes us lower into this floor at 455. You can monitor for continuation after that into 405. Are you actually going to short the thing? Probably not. You can see none to borrow here, no options chain either, so you're just going to avoid longs in that instance. To me, the only reason to get involved to the upside again would be if we put in some sort of consolidation or some sort of bullish pattern, could be an ascending triangle, and then get the breakout once again up and over $6.54. We know we have a first target here at 757 coming from this area of resistance. We don't want to cherry pick the highs, so that would be number one, and then after that you can look for the high of day and see if we can make it further than that. But again, only being developed if we take out that 654 on a bullish pattern. It's really going to wrap up the video there. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.